Welcome to Paranormal Partners. I just scared Jade, and it was awesome.
No, it was not awesome. Our neighbors are going to get really pissed at us.
No. So, we're at a new location, as you can see. We got tired of sitting at one chair.
Yeah. That stuff's hard. For 45 minutes on one chair.
Yeah, it's not the best. So, we're sitting on our nice couch, so.
If you're watching our video, you can see that I copied Eric.
Yeah, show the love to Cause, the greatest artist of the modern century.
I just wanted to be Eric because I think he's a wonderful human being.
Thank you.
So I wanted to be you. This is my Halloween costume. I'm you.
Very scary.
Very.
So it is officially, I think it's a day. It's been a day since the Area 51 raids.
Area 51 raid was on Friday. It was like Friday through Sunday. It was like a whole huge event.
Yeah.
But I think that the initial raid was Friday. And it went... Did you see there was a Naruto runner that went viral?
Oh, in the news ad?
Yeah, in the newscast.
So good.
Teenager, I think it was a teenager. Or just a guy. Naruto ran behind like this. If you're watching the video, you can see me. But Naruto ran behind the reporter. And now he's famous.
Yes.
I wish life was that easy where you could just Naruto run behind a news reporter.
That's the thing, though. It is.
Famous.
It is that easy.
I wish it...
Yeah. For us, you mean?
Yeah, I wish it was that easy for me.
All right.
You, of course.
Well, today we are going into the genre of cursed items.
If I have a hot cocoa mustache at any point, please tell me. I don't want our viewers on our video to...
Hate you?
Steal. No, they wouldn't hate me for having a hot cocoa stash.
Depends how picky they are. Are you guys elitists?
What? Everybody loves hot cocoa, okay?
Yeah. Nesquik is fire.
This is Swiss Miss.
Swiss Miss is fire.
I don't think Nesquik makes hot cocoa.
I know. It was just a little side note.
Oh, yeah. Nesquik.
All right.
Okay, cursed objects.
Is there anything that's been happening in our normal lives that's haunted? We're back on tours. I think we talked about that last time.
Oh, I did have one weird thing happen to me on one of my tours. So we were at this place in Lincoln called Billy's Restaurant, and one of the rumored hauntings there is of a Native American girl.
Oh, yeah.
And, okay, so this is crazy. I actually asked my parents about this the other day because I wanted to make sure I was remembering it right. But I have, like, this bag that I take with me that has, like, all the equipment that we use on our tour. And somehow this, like, marble got into my bag. And this marble was a marble that we apparently got at Lookout Mountain in Tennessee on vacation. And I remember it. I remember buying it. And so I asked my parents about it if they remembered it because I just wanted to make sure this wasn't, like, something I, like, made up in my mind.
Yeah, I do that. I have so many childhood stuff like that.
Yeah, but they remembered it. And
that's crazy.
It was supposedly found on top of the mountain, or on the, like, mountain area, which is super interesting. It's the only cemetery where Union and Confederate soldiers are buried together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's really cool. But it was supposed to belong to Native American children.
Wow.
That's how old it was. And so it somehow ended up in my bag at the restaurant where we believe there's a Native American spirit that haunts it. And I was like
crazy.
pulling my stuff out of my bag, and I was like, what the heck? Why is this marble in there? And then one other weird thing.
I can confirm I did see it with my own eyes.
Since we're talking about cursed objects, maybe this marble is cursed because that was the marble that caused me to have surgery on my hand in 5th grade.
True.
So I had this.
That is true.
Yeah, I had this space heater, and the bottom, it was broke. The button that pushed it in, which was on the bottom of it, didn't work. So I put the little marble, I'd put it under there, like the space heater would sit on the marble so that it would hold the on button or whatever, basically.
Yeah.
And it was dark.
Genius.
That's genius.
No, I'm serious. It's genius.
What else would you use an ancient Native American marble for?
Exactly.
So I put it in the space heater, and it was dark, and, like, I accidentally bumped the space heater, and I was, like, rubbing my hand across the carpet looking for the marble.
I hate this story.
And a sewing needle went into my hand. It pierced my tendons in my hand, so I couldn't move my hand. And I didn't know what happened. Like, I just felt a pain and, like, pulled my hand back. And I told my parents. I was only in 5th grade. I told my parents, and they, like, didn't believe me. They're like, yeah, right. I'm sure you hurt your hand. I'm sure it'll be better in the morning. And still in the morning, I couldn't move my hand. So they're like, okay, we'll take you to the doctor. So potentially I own a cursed object.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it got in my ghost hunting bag. Honestly, I haven't even seen it in years.
That's crazy.
And we moved, and I didn't bring, like, half the stuff with me, so. I don't know. That's all that's going on in my spooky ooky life. Let's talk about other people's spooky ooky lives.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Cursed objects.
Spooky ooky. You want...
Would you like to go first?
Let me go first. I have 1, 2...
Oh! I just got a glimpse of one of the pictures.
Yeah, I have 4 items, so I'm going to read 2. She has 2. So I'm going to go 2, 1, 2. 1.
Sounds like a game plan.
So,
Ready, break. I don't want to look at your pictures. What are your pictures on there?
I'm going to try to put the pictures in the video as well. So
I'm so sorry for everyone that's watching our video.
Mine are really short descriptions.
And if you're listening to the podcast version, you're lucky. I mean, you can go look at it if you want, but they're creepy.
Okay, so the first is the cursed mirror of Myrtle's plantation.
Ooh.
As you can see, here, Myrtle's plantation is believed to be one of the most haunted places in the world. But the most haunted item on the premises is a mirror that was added to the home in 1980. Legend claims that the mirror contains the spirit of Sarah Woodruff and her children who were poisoned to death by a slave named Chloe on the premises.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a likely story.
I mean, it does. The whole... You remember... what's in Iowa, the Villisca Axmore house?
Villisca, yeah.
Completely different subject, but they covered every mirror.
Yeah. Because
there's an old, belief...
Like wives' tale?
Yeah, that if someone dies in a house and the mirrors aren't covered, as the soul or body or the spirit, whatever, leaves the body, if it looks into a mirror, it'll be trapped forever.
Yeah, I've heard that. I actually had a really interesting question on one of our tours the other day, and somebody asked me if it was true that you should open your windows, open a window in your house when someone passes away so the spirit can, leave.
Yeah.
And I was like, I haven't heard that one, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. Because I've heard the one, I told them about
I don't know. I mean, Santa can always figure out a way. Why can't Grandpa?
Wow. That's great.
Yeah. So...
Never mind. Let the spirit use the chimney. What if you don't have a chimney?
I mean, same thing with Santa. Have you ever seen Santa Claus 2 where he just makes a chimney in the house?
That's true.
So, as it says, whenever a family member dies, tradition dictates that you're supposed to cover all mirrors in the house so that their spirits don't get, lost or trapped.
Yeah.
So, this is sad, but Clark missed one of the mirrors in the house, and it said that the spirit of Sarah and her children got trapped there.
I don't know if I necessarily believe that a slave poisoned them. Okay, I do believe it because I think it's possible. But at the same time, it's just...
They get
slaves
framed
got blamed for everything.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, be giving out information that the slave killed these...
He's like, yes, I will kill my family. Leave a mirror.
You make fun, but I bet...
No, I'm serious.
I truly think that, people were and still are that, evil. But especially when they had slaves and they could just pawn anything off on their slaves.
Yeah. So then the guests at the plantation, which is now a popular bed and breakfast, which would be cool to go to.
I would love to go to that.
They said
Let's do it.
We should have seen, reported seeing figures lurking in the mirror and child-sized handprints on the glass.
I've always been terrified.
So sad.
That is really sad, but also I've always been terrified of, oh, God, I don't want to look at that picture. Ew. Yep. Is that a real picture someone took?
Yeah, actual photo of the spirit of the little girl caught in the mirror, squatting by the door.
Oh my God.
That's pretty clear, don't you think?
That's extremely clear. Well, it is a mirror, so...
Yeah.
Expect the image to be very clear. I've always been afraid of mirrors. I try to avoid looking at the mirror when I get out of the shower.
I watched this video as a kid about this mirror. I don't know. Mirrors are just scary. Especially the mirror at the Museum of Shadows.
Yeah. Sorry, wait, I gotta burp. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry, it was the cocoa.
Yeah,
It's gone now, though.
They're scary. The Museum of Shadows one, shout out Museum of Shadows as always.
It's in, what, Plattsmouth?
Plattsmouth, Nebraska.
I always want to say Plattsmouth because that's how it's, spelled.
No, go there if you're near. Yeah,
it's super cool.
super cool, but that mirror is scary.
I mean, that whole freaking museum is terrifying.
It is, but the mirror in particular for me at
Didn't
least.
you see something in that mirror?
Oh, I think I saw myself smile.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah,
Or something.
I used to do this thing where I'd look into my eyes in the mirror and I'd get myself in a trance, and then your face can change.
It's like I didn't believe you, and I remember I Googled it, and it's a real psychological phenomenon that happens. So go stare at yourself in the mirror for a couple minutes.
Dim lighting, stare in the mirror. I don't know. I'm not going to recommend it.
I'm not going to try it.
I mean, people, they don't know the exact examples, and they also say definitely don't do it if you have bad mental health.
Yeah.
But, like, there's times where I'd see myself as, like, a lumberjack. Or, like, I don't... You know those books where if you look at a picture long enough, another picture comes out?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
I know what
but,
you're
like, normally it's just like, dang, I look like a lumberjack now. Or
really?
etc.
I'm too scared to try it.
And then one time I did it, and it was like...
Oh, wait, hold on.
I just came back.
My cursed object was staring at me. A picture of it.
I looked at it, and then my face... It was like... Smile up to here, like Jeff the Killer type of smile.
Like, have you seen the Truth or Dare movie preview? Mm-mm. You haven't? It's from a while ago, like a year or two ago.
Yeah, no, I saw that, and I was
just
like
creepy smile.
After that happened, I was like 16 when that happened. I was like, I'm not looking in the mirror for a while.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. No.
Okay, so the next cursed item I have is called the Anguished Man painting, and this one is horrific. It will be shown here.
No. This is the picture I saw. I saw it on your screen. I want to see that.
That's awful, isn't it?
That's so terrible. Who painted that and why?
I'll get into it.
Oh my god.
So, fascinated by its charm and somehow mysteriously drawn towards it, Sean Robinson used to spend hours staring at the Anguished Man painting as a child. Yeah.
Staring at that?
Yeah. As a child, in his basement.
In the basement?
Where it had been hidden by his grandmother.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
After she died, Sean inherited the painting from her. At this point, he had his own family by then, and he decided...
Why did she give it to him?
I don't know.
Or did she? Did she just die and he just took it?
Yeah, probably that.
I would have freaking buried that thing.
No, he had his own family by then, and he decided to hang up the painting on the wall, despite several arguments about it with his wife. Understandably.
If you try to hang that on our wall, it would be gone. Stop! I don't want to see it. It's gonna give me nightmares. And it's like already bad enough. Like Eric says really creepy things in his sleep, and I sometimes can't handle it. I get really
This
scared.
one's really dark and really scary, honestly. So the house that Sean lived in started experiencing bizarre paranormal events. Doors cracking in the middle of the night, followed by blood-curdling screams that seemed to be coming from nowhere. But the most horrifying experience of all was nightmares that each and every family member would have every night. And that happened since they hung up the painting, and they'd suddenly wake up in the middle of the night too.
I'm not about that.
So eventually, Sean and his family couldn't take it anymore, and they decided to investigate the painting's origin, and found out something that was even more disturbing than the paranormal events. This is crazy. Don't read ahead.
I'm scared.
The artist who painted the Anguished Man committed suicide, but before he took his life, he mixed his own blood with the oil paint that he used for that painting. So upon learning,
oh my god.
Yeah. Upon learning this, Sean took the painting down, but it still resides in the basement in Cumbria, England to this day.
Heck no, that's disgusting. Wait. Okay, can I look at it for a second?
That's
God.
blood.
That's disgusting. Yeah, I really hate that.
Yeah.
Okay, yours is worse than mine. Like, mine's got a creepy story to it. One of mine is a painting as well. It's like a really famous painting, actually. It's called The Crying Boy. It's not as scary looking as yours. Now I'm like listening to all these people whining about how they thought this was creepy, and now I'm like, after seeing yours, I'm like, suck it up.
I didn't read about that, but I saw that photo when I was looking up stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what that makes me think of every time?
What?
One Boring Blue Boy from Coraline.
Oh, Coraline. It's like our favorite movie. I love Coraline. Yeah. Actually, this painting has some pretty massive history as well. So this article is actually written by somebody who had his grandmother had it hanging up in her kitchen. So I'll just read it to you because it's way more interesting told by him/her. I don't know. Unknown. Author unknown.
Unknown.
It says, when I
that
was
makes it worse.
Stop.
Does it? Does it make it worse not to know?
You're going to freak me out. Why am I scared over a painting? I wish paintings could do the opposite thing, too. Like, I hang a picture of a meadow and I have dreams every night
I bet they
that
could.
I'm frolicking in a meadow. And it's nothing but pure happiness.
Or like the mirror from Harry Potter where you can see what you desire the most.
I just see you.
Aw.
Okay, so it says, when I was a young child in the 70s, I became fascinated by a painting in my grandmother's house. The painting was a cheap print of a well-known piece and was hung on the living room wall of her small terraced house.
I think I remember hearing about this.
I bet you have. It's super famous.
Yeah, I know it. Is it with the fires?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Super famous.
Yeah, I want to hear about this more.
He said, the reason I was so fascinated with that picture is because it depicted a child. The boy was a similar age to me, and for some reason, it looked sad and downcast, tears brimming from his troubled eyes.
Oh.
I was so attached to the painting, I even gave the sad child a name. So I could see, like, it gets you because it's just a sad-looking little child, and you're just like, oh, sweetie. But
that's how they always get you.
It's evil, so, yeah. A few years after the painting went up on the wall, there was a devastating kitchen fire in the house.
No, yeah.
While the kitchen was destroyed, the rest of the house was undamaged. Despite this, the painting of the boy was removed and thrown into a skip along with the contents of the kitchen. For years, it puzzled me why my grandmother did this until I read a series of articles about a cursed painting. That painting was the crying boy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so scary. Should we hang one up?
No. I mean, you could probably buy one on eBay for like $10.99
I do not want to do that.
I don't want one, though.
Don't do that.
Do not, unless you have your own haunted museum, maybe.
Don't
then
do
you
it.
Can do it.
Don't do it.
The Crying Boy was one of a series of paintings by artist Giovanni Bragolin, completed in the 1950s.
Man, what would you think if you made something like that?
I'd feel really bad.
Me too. I'd be like, dang, I just drew a demon.
I mean, I don't know why necessarily it's cursed, but I would feel really bad if I did that.
Yeah.
I'd be like buy them back from people maybe. So it was a series of paintings by artist Giovanni Bragolin, completed in the 1950s. The series depicted young, teary-eyed children. While it may seem strange to want an image of a weeping child on your wall, which is a valid question, the pictures proved popular all over the world. In the UK alone, over 50,000 copies sold. The children represented were often poor and very beautiful, which makes it even more sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad. One boy's image particularly tugs on the heartstrings. His eyes a sad reflection of his soul.
Puppy eyes.
He became known as the Crying Boy.
Oh, gosh.
In total, Bragolin painted over 60 paintings, and up until the early 80s, prints and reprints of his images continued to be mass-produced.
Do you ever think about, like, something that interests me so much is, like, people, what they dedicate their lives to. It's like, wow, someone dedicated his life to painting crying children, man. That's so weird.
It's kind of depressing when you put
That's
it
more
like
than,
that.
it's just weird.
It is a little weird. In 1985, the most popular tabloid newspaper in the United Kingdom printed a story that caused panic and ended the popularity of Bragolin's work. The Sun published an article entitled Blazing Curse of the Crying Boy. The story described the terrible experience of May and Ron Hall after their Rotherham home was destroyed by fire. The cause of the fire, much like my grandmother's, was a chip pan that overheated and burst into flames. Ooh. The fire spread rapidly and destroyed everything on the ground floor. Only one item remained intact. A print of the crying boy.
No.
On their living room wall.
His tears prevented him from the flames.
Oh. No, actually, there's been a lot of theories why.
I have a theory.
I'll get to it.
It's a sad boy because he's crying because his house got burned down by a demon, and he survives in a painting, and the demon tries to chase him. And he's innocent. It's just someone's out to get him.
That's super dark.
Or... Okay, well, it's pretty hard to come up with a lighthearted theory for that.
Okay, there's some other lighthearted theories. I'll tell you in just a second. So, Yeah, the fire spread rapidly and destroyed everything on the ground floor, and the only item that remained was the print of the crying boy, and it was still hanging on the living room wall, which is really creepy. Distraught at their loss, the devastated couple made the bizarre claim that the painting was cursed, and it, not the chip pan, was the cause of the fire. The tale would have disappeared into the archives of the strange and mysterious stories that peppered the Sun, except for one thing. A firefighter claimed that he had attended at least 15 house fires where everything was destroyed.
What?
And the only thing left complete in each home was the picture of the crying boy.
That's like, I can understand one, like a cursed relic or something, but how can just a picture of something be, like, a reproduced picture, like each of them be cursed? That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I truly don't know. I mean, like, thousands of people say this painting is cursed, and I kind of, like, theorize maybe it's something else, but I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
I'm still getting there.
I'll stop interrupting.
Okay. So, before long, the story gathered momentum, and a rash of fires all over the United Kingdom were blamed on the cursed child.
Insurance companies are like, God, the stupid kid.
Hello, do you have demon painting coverage? Demonic painting coverage?
They're like,
sorry,
we don't cover houses that have this painting.
We dropped Lucifer off the insurance about a couple 100,000 years ago. A couple thousand years ago, not 100,000. Jesus. That'd be a long time.
That would.
So, how do you say that? In subsequent. I don't know English. In subsequent articles, the Sun went on to claim a woman in Surrey lost her house fire 6 months after buying the painting.
Okay.
She lost her house to fire 6 months after buying the painting. Sorry, I can't talk tonight. 2 sisters in Kilburn had fires in their homes after buying a copy of the painting.
Jeez.
One sister even claimed to have seen her painting sway backwards and forwards on the wall.
Wow.
A concerned woman on the Isle of Wight attempted to burn her painting without success and then went on to suffer a run of bad luck.
Oh, no.
A gentleman in Nottingham who possessed a print of the painting lost his home and his family were injured.
Oh, my God.
A pizza parlor in Norfolk was destroyed, including every painting on its wall except for the crying boy.
That's ridiculous.
And when the Sun reported that even rational firefighters refused to have a copy of the crying boy in their homes, the reputation of the painting was damaged forever. Damned forever. Same thing. So apparently the Sun, this is what's insane. So in all the cases and many more that were reported, the painting of the crying boy remained unharmed. Eventually, if there was an image of a crying child by any artist in a house that went on fire, the painting was blamed. Some claimed that they experienced bad luck if they attempted to destroy or get rid of their paintings. Others were convinced that it was only a matter of time before the disaster struck them.
Oh, no.
After printing more articles and scare stories, the Sun offered a frightened public a solution. On Halloween in 1985, hundreds of paintings were collected together by the newspaper and burned under the supervision of the fire brigade.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is so good. That's like some 1400s witchcraft.
Yeah, that is.
Shit. It's so crazy. Or like some banned books kind of thing.
Yeah.
So why would this seemingly innocent series of paintings be cursed? Before long, speculation was rife. Theories ranged from the little boy being a gypsy child whose family placed a curse on the artist. Some claimed that the child had died in a fire and his spirit was trapped in the painting.
That's so sad.
But then why would it be in all the reproductions? I could understand the original painting, but maybe it's like a Horcrux.
Oh my God, yeah.
A part of his soul is in every painting and reproduction. There's 50,000 Horcrux.
And it's like Harry Potter's going around trying to burn them down. He's like, I hit the house again?
The most enduring story claimed the crying boy accidentally set fire to the studio of his artist who had painted him.
What?
The child's parents had also been killed in a blaze. Wherever the little orphan
we're back
went,
to theories. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wherever the little orphan went, fires mysteriously followed, earning him the nickname Diablo, or the devil. The boy supposedly survived to early adulthood, but was tragically killed when his car crashed and burst into flames. From then onwards, it was his image that carried on his cursed fascination with fire.
Wow, that's crazy.
So there's some attempts to debunk this, which I think is potentially believable if it was the painting itself, but the fact that it's reproductions too, I'm like, I don't know about that. Because, like, there's one theory where where they said, like, the paintings were, like, made on fire-retardant, like, canvases or made with fire-retardant paints and stuff like that, which would make sense if it was, like, one or two paintings or, like, even a couple hundred paintings. I could see that happening. But the fact that it's just, like, a reproduction print.
Yeah.
Like, you could buy it at a souvenir shop for $10.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Or there's someone who wants to ruin that artist's reputation.
I know. And also the weird thing is, if the crying boy can't be burned, then how did the sun gather them all and burn them all?
I mean, I bet it's burnable.
Well, let me read what this person put. They put, in a bid to debunk the stories that grew up around the painting of the crying boy, various experts offered their own theories. A frustrated fire brigade pointed out that in all cases where there had been fires, there was a rational explanation. The fires in almost all cases could be traced back to human carelessness or electrical faults. What they couldn't explain was the evidence that the paintings often remained intact when everything around them was destroyed. In a 2010 video made by Steve Punt, and available on YouTube, a painting of the crying boy is set alight in a bid to decide the matter once and for all.
Jeez, ballsy move.
I know. I wouldn't do that. Look, we can even watch it. Let's include the link to it. I haven't even watched it yet. What if it's terrible? Okay, sorry. I don't want to curse you all by, like, putting that on there. By the time the fire burns out, the corner of the painting is scorched, but it remains largely intact, and the face remains untouched. Yet the Sun, who first published the story of the crying boy, had no trouble incinerating hundreds of copies. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Possibly the simplest explanation is that the picture is printed onto fire-retardant materials. Quite simply, the manufacturer of the print created a fire-resistant product that became a victim of its own success. But the debate continues. I personally think that it's not that, because that's what I thought at first, but the fact that it's all forms of this painting is, like, you can't burn it.
There's just something weird. There's something weird for sure.
Something weird. I don't know what it is.
Because I bet most paintings are flame retardant. Like, I don't think he'd just specially do that for that one.
I don't know. But it's like...
Plus, I feel like if he did, the artist would be like, oh,
it's like $10 gift shop or eBay paintings, though, too. It's not just...
No, I feel like there's something weird.
Straight off the artist's brush.
All right.
Sorry, mine were a little bit longer and more in depth because I didn't do as much... I didn't pick as many items.
Okay, one
second.
second.
I was lazy.
Let me check. All right. My next one is the Chair of Death. Have you heard of it?
No.
Here's how it looks. It's you can see it right here or right here. You see, Jane?
It looks pretty normal. It actually kind of looks like a chair my parents have, but always scared me as a kid.
So this chair was a chair that was actually cursed by a man himself. His name was Busby. So, basically the story of Busby is, Busby was arrested and tried, condemned to death after he murdered his father-in-law, Daniel Auty, or Auty. Well, that's a written thing, so don't even worry about it.
You said that the exact same way, so...
I mean, it's spelled differently, but it'd be pronounced the same way. In 1702. So, Auty and Busby were running a coin counterfeiting business, as well as other criminal enterprises.
Interesting.
And they argued about the business, which ended with Busby killing Auty. One variation of the story has Busby cursing the chair whilst on his way to execution, whereas another says he was drunk in the chair when he was arrested and then cursed it. Sorry.
Well, I didn't really take anything away from what you just said because it was so choppy.
Busby killed his father. He was in the chair, and then he cursed it. So he was in the chair, and he stood up while the police were there. He said, "May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit on my chair."
Wait, the dad did?
No, Busby, the murderer of his father. So the son.
Wait. Did he kill his dad?
Yes, he killed his father.
Who was sitting in the chair when he killed him?
No, he killed his father.
Okay.
Sat in the chair. The police got him. He stood up, and he said, May sudden death come to anyone who dares sit on my chair.
Dang, okay.
Yep.
Don't touch my chair.
Since then, a supposed 63 people who have sat in the chair met their untimely deaths. sometimes mere moments after sitting in it.
Well, yeah, they're human, of course. They're all gonna die.
Mere moments.
Yeah, that's
There's
crazy.
people who fell over
That's
from
crazy.
heart attacks after sitting in that chair, Jade.
That's crazy.
Heart attacks, people. When the number of deaths became... It became, like, so coincidental. Like, so many deaths happened from the chair. People driving home crashed. People who sit in there have heart attacks, seizures, or strokes.
I mean, they should just put a sign on it that says, do not sit.
No, they
sit.
did. They sent it to a museum in Thirsk, UK, in 1972. The chair is hung up on the wall, 1.5 meters off the ground, to prevent any further coincidences.
I can still see some, like, dummy sitting in the chair.
He's like, I want to try.
And then he's on the wall.
Do you
and it
believe
looks like
that?
he's levitating.
Do you believe that or no?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't sit in the chair.
no.
No way. If someone, like, even if someone just said that, I wouldn't just try it.
Yeah,
You know? I just wouldn't. I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah. Okay, and then my final item today is Maori Warrior masks. And this one is actually really interesting because I've seen one of these in person.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about it until I was doing research on it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, I remember this. So 10 years ago, I was in New Zealand. And in a museum, they had these masks. And I remember because of the weird thing on the text. Really? So before you enter the room, it says, pregnant women, we strongly urge you not to enter this room.
What?
Yeah. So that's how a Maori...
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a mask?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the Maori are warriors of New Zealand that lived long ago, but they still lived. They're one of the only native groups of people to survive. So they used to carve out masks before heading into battle. And according to the Maori belief, any man who died in battle left his soul behind in one of the masks.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so oddly, none of the threats seem to pose a threat to men, but it is found to cause women who are pregnant to suffer complications or have miscarriages.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
They don't know.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so several of the masks exist in a museum in New Zealand today, but are displayed with a warning that women that are expecting should not come close to the mask for their own safety and safety of their child. It has never been explained why the perceived curse only seems to affect pregnant women, but it is best not think of it as simply superstition because it is not worth the risk.
That's
and I agree.
Weird.
I remember,
do you have any theories?
Personally?
Yeah.
No. I don't know.
I mean, why would warriors... I mean, unless... I'm sure it has something to do with, like, their tribe and their tribe's culture. It's probably something that's really sacred, or else they wouldn't... They'd explain it, I'm sure, if it...
I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe, like, were warriors not allowed to have children, and so they take their vengeance upon mothers who are having children?
I don't know. I don't know if it's even, like, related to anything. It could just be, like...
An evil...
attachment. I don't know, but, the museum I was in wasn't a supernatural museum. It was a history museum, and it had that warning on it. That's, like, sketchy that they would even put that on
Well, it's culture.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you'd go to a supernatural museum, it's like, step here at your own risk to get possessed by Satan. Like, everything says that, but you wouldn't go to the Smithsonian and it's like, don't touch this or else you might have Satan touching you.
They might. If it's part of the culture, I think you should include that.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm saying, like,
history.
I feel like there's a special added warrant to it because, like, I don't know. It's crazy. And I remember seeing them in real life and they're pretty haunting. Yeah.
I went to this, like, castle in France. Where was it in France? It wasn't when we went to France. Obviously, is when I went with my family, but it had been redone to be a museum, but it wasn't just like relics to France. It was like relics from all over the world. There were Egyptian mummies in there.
Ooh, that's cool.
There's like one Egyptian mummy.
There's one at the Kansas City Museum.
Really?
Yeah, we should go.
We should go. I've never been. Yeah, but they had some really cool stuff, and I remember there were some of the rooms that had stuff like that, like masks, and like some of them are from like African. Like ancient African tribes, and they're creepy. Yeah, I mean that's our purpose is to be.
Yeah, no, a
scary,
lot of like I've thought. So there's so many African masks that are so scary looking.
Yeah,
Creepy
There's an
stuff.
episode of Scooby-Doo where it's like one of the first episodes, and it's like this tiki witch doctor. That episode scared the crap out of me. The mask. It also kind of looks like the mask from Courage the Cowardly Dog, where he's like, "Ooga booga booga! You stupid dog! You make me look bad."
You mean Eustace?
Yeah.
No, wait. Eustace is the.
He'd always like turn
Is
around.
Eustace the mom or?
No, that's the dad.
That's what I thought.
Muriel.
Muriel and Eustace. Yeah.
Muriel.
Muriel.
Booga booga booga! I'm gonna do that to you more often.
Whoa! The things I do for love, as Courage would say. I'll say that every time you do it.
That's what you sound like. Okay, on to our very final, last cursed object.
That was pretty Courage the Cowardly Dog, wasn't it?
That was good. So the last thing I have for you guys for cursed objects is the Exorcist film released in 1973. An entire film.
Imagine that was my head spinning in a circle.
I saw it spin in a circle. So it's based on William Blatty's novel, and it's adapted by William Friedkin.
2 Williams, that's too
I know.
suspicious.
I know.
That's a bad sign already.
Could it be that one more William would be mocking the Holy Trinity?
Nice.
I'm sure there's a William that contributed to it somewhere.
I bet.
So it's, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't, why are you listening to our podcast right now? Why are you calling yourself a horror classic fan?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess necessarily.
Wow, Jade's an elitist.
Okay, we'll delete that.
We're not going to delete it. You're an elitist, Jade.
No, I'm not.
You watch what you watch, okay?
It's a classic, and if you like horror or spooky in any way, if you haven't seen The Exorcist, then you need to, because it's like just a classic. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just ignore that. So what you might not know is that parts of the media frenzy surrounding the film derived from rumors that the movie itself was troubled. A series of tragic incidents befell the cast, crew, and the people connected with them, leading many to believe that the film itself was cursed. So I remember actually learning about this in one of my classes. I co-led a 1970s film class, and one of the movies we had them watch was The Exorcist, because it's like one of the very first instances of scare horror. Yeah. Where it was like shocking. Yeah. Shock horror. Actually,
instead of like, yeah.
It was insane. Like, people went
nuts. It's a scary movie.
It is scary, especially for the time. Like, it was unlike anything. So, production on The Exorcist was riddled with problems from the start. As shooting began in 1972, the set used as the home of Regan MacNeil, which is the main character in the movie who gets possessed. The Regan MacNeil. Perfect. The set burned down when a bird flew into a circuit box.
Did it have the painting?
No, there's no painting, but eerily, the only part to remain untouched by the flames was the room used for the filming of the actual exorcism.
Jeez.
The movie, where the scenes where they were, like, exorcising her is the only part that remained.
Exorcising her?
Yeah.
50 more push-ups!
No. Okay, this is also weird. Like, birds are said to be an omen.
Yeah,
and so I thought about this and, like, that's super creepy. Like, birds running into windows and stuff is, like, a really bad omen. And, I mean, having a bird get into your electrical circuit box and cause a fire is even more crazy.
It's bad. That's bad stuff.
So, let's see. The shoot was hit further by a tragedy when a series of deaths rocked the cast and crew. Actors Jack McGowan and Vasiliki Maliaros. I don't think I said that right. His name looks like Vaseline. It might be a woman. Who knows? Anyway, whose characters also died in the movie.
That's crazy.
Both passed away shortly after the shooting wrapped.
Oh, that's so scary.
So, hint number 2 that the movie is cursed. Elsewhere stars Linda Blair, which I believe she's the one that plays Reagan. Linda.
She is, I think so. Yeah.
And Max von Sydow lost members of their family during the show.
Dang.
And But that wasn't all. The son of Jason Miller, who plays Father Damien Karras?
Yeah.
Is it Karras? I think. Was nearly killed in a motorcycle accident.
Jeez.
Which, you'd think that they'd actually go after the priest in the movie, like, pretty hard if it was a curse.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if always curses are, like, intelligent things, either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
So, meanwhile, Blair and on-screen mother Ellen Burstyn both suffered serious injuries during the production due to falls on set. And also, this is kind of crazy. So, there's one part in the movie where Reagan, Linda, throws her mother, Ellen, to the floor. And she, like, screams. And that's when Ellen actually injured herself. And the scream that you hear is, like, her true pain.
Oh.
And they left it because it's so blood-curdling. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, she's like, ah, shit, my toe!
No, she screams. I don't know what she injured, but she hurt herself really bad. And then I know there was a problem with Reagan. There was, like, one scene where she was, like levitating off the bed or something. And
she just drops?
No, her rigging broke, and she injured her back really bad.
Dang.
Yeah, it was really bad. So the so-called curse was also said to have followed the movie on its release into cinemas on Boxing Day in 1973. A release date over the period of a major religious festival gives you some indication of the studio's intent to spark controversy and debate.
Definitely.
The Warner Brothers press office spread speculation of the curse prior to the release, and it was an extremely hot topic in global media when it hit the cinemas.
I bet.
So this was probably, like, part of the reason why it sold out, like, everywhere. People were lining up and would wait hours. There's actually some really, really interesting videos on YouTube.
I've seen them. The people running out of the theater. Yeah.
And, like, there's people that have been waiting in line for hours, and there's, like, reporters coming along, like, asking them why they were waiting. They're just like, I have no idea why I'm waiting. I don't know. I'm terrified. It's crazy. So Warner Brothers drew on sinister rumors surrounding the film's production to pique audience interest. Column inches and television news screens were filled with stories of audience members fainting and vomiting and walking out in large numbers at early screenings.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean,
that a movie could do that.
But it also, she looks pretty scary in the movie.
I know. When I saw her picture on here earlier, and you weren't at home, you were at work, I was like, I'm gonna scroll past this really quick. This is pretty crazy. In Rome, fans were forced to travel to the cinema in a torrential downpour. As the film began, lightning struck the church opposite the cinema.
Dang.
I don't know if I'd go into the movie at that point. I'd be like, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is kind of real life, not just a movie type of thing.
Also, apparently, one woman who passed out broke her jaw, and she sued the studio for
I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, lady, just because you're a wuss and you fell over during our movie because it's so good, it's not our problem.
That's so crazy.
She better have lost that.
I don't know. I didn't look into that. But in the UK, St. John's ambulance staff attended screenings because people were like,
that's awesome.
Fainting. God. So there was this guy, his name is Billy Graham. He was a U.S. televangelist, and he went as far to claim that the very celluloid of the film itself was cursed, and that it contained subliminal messages. And I was too scared to look up the subliminal messages because I've looked up subliminal messages in songs before, and then I've never been able to listen to those songs ever again. Yeah. Like Stairway to Heaven. When I heard, it says, if you play it backwards, it says, like, look, I'm literally getting goosebumps.
I don't know about that.
It says 666.
I mean,
it says other things about the devil.
I've listened to that so many times, and it's like, yeah, I don't know.
There's a David Bowie song, too. I think it's, no, not David Bowie, sorry. It's Pink Floyd song, where if you play it backwards, it says, congratulations, you have discovered the secret message. Call this number, and it gives a number.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's actually legit, and it's like it all sounds completely normal. It's like I think it's in the intro or the end of the song. It's like in a musical instrument part where you hear like just random weird noises, and then someone figured out, hey, if you play the record backwards, which that's also why I think they did Stairway to Heaven on purpose, because this is the time when people were listening to records, and it's not like now you can't go on Spotify and listen to it in reverse. Then you just fucking turn the record.
Language.
Sorry, you just turn the record and it's backwards.
Yeah.
So I personally think Stairway to Heaven has some. That's creepy.
I don't know.
I don't know,
skeptical.
but apparently there's subliminal messages in The Exorcist. And the hype around the movie helped fuel record-breaking box office figures. It would go on to earn more than $441 million, which, this is insane. That's $1.862 billion.
That's pretty big.
In today's money. And it became the first horror to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. So, Exorcist was extremely insane. Money maker. Even if it was cursed, people still paid so much money to go see it.
Yeah.
It was named the highest-grossing horror film of all time until it was knocked from its perch by none other than Stephen King's It.
Nice.
Which, if there's anything that's going to knock The Exorcist from its perch, I think It is a good one. Not the original so much, though. But this is the 70s.
I like The Shining better than It.
It scared me. It scared me more. The new It's have scared me more than The Shining.
Yeah, but there's just some value to The Shining.
I've actually read the Shining book, and to me, it's more scary than watching the movie.
I bet
so
books
intense.
are usually better.
Scary books are really scary.
All books are good.
Almost better than movies. But anyway, there's a lot of people that theorize that the curse is just a tool that they were using to promote it, but I personally...
oh yes, John's dad just died. We need to put this in the story. Everyone, John's dad died. That's another one for the book.
No, I personally think that The Exorcist is cursed. It's based off of a true story. So that's the other thing. There's this guy named Roland Doe, or it was a kid named Roland. I know that is the most made up name ever.
I'm Roland Doe, and I'm rolling in dough.
No, it sounds like the Jane Doe. It sounds like a fake name, but it's a real name, real person. And I believe the story goes that his aunt passed away, and this happened in like Missouri. There's an article posted on our website at paranormalaf.com if you'd like to read it. But I haven't read it in a while, and I wrote it, so I can't entirely remember. But I think it was his aunt passed away, and he wanted to try to contact her, so he played with the Ouija board.
Never do that. Never do that.
The Exorcist is based off a true story. It's based off of that, and some of the things I think that happened to him, like priests actually came in. It was legit, like exorcised, commissioned by the
50
church.
push-ups.
And I think some of the things that happened there are actually in the film.
We're the swole priests.
You laugh, but if someone you loved got possessed, I don't think you'd be making fun of the swole priests.
On The Biggest Loser, it's like, today Todd lost 50 pounds. And then it's like, Jamie still has corruption from Satan in her blood. She's like,
that's all right, Jamie. You'll get it next week.
Come on, Jamie, cut those carbs.
Cut those demons.
Let's take an ice cold bath.
Okay, well, that's all I have.
That's it.
Cursed objects.
Check out our merch, paranormalaf.com. We need a supporter right now.
Also,
maybe your t-shirt's gonna be.
You're coming on too strong. You're gonna scare them.
Maybe your t-shirt's gonna be cursed, huh? Maybe if no one buys it,
No,
the
it's
next
not
one's
gonna be
gonna get cursed, huh? Maybe if no one buys it, you're gonna get a cursed t-shirt, huh? We're gonna give it away.
He's bringing out his Godfather accent because we just watched The Godfather.
If nobody wants to treat us like family, if no one wants to buy us a shirt, how can we say the shirt you get won't be cursed, huh?
Okay.
You come to me.
Okay.
You say you're a fan of mine.
Okay, everyone. Thank you for watching Paranormal Partners, and thank you for listening. For those of you who are listening to us, I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap it up for Eric. Please follow us on Instagram. We are just Paranormal Partners.
If you don't follow us on Instagram, you're not even a fan.
Follow our Facebook if you aren't already.
How could you?
Paranormal Partners again.
You come
And
here,
follow
you come
our
this far and you're
YouTube.
not even in that. Huh?
Once again,
You watched
Paranormal
15
Partners
minutes of
on
our show,
YouTube.
huh? You watched 15
Thank
minutes.
you
You're not even that
guys.
far in it?
Have a nice night.
Have a nice
Let us
night
know
if
if you
you're a
have
fan.
cursed objects. Bye bye.